Welcome to the Jeff Knows Inc. Entrepreneurial Show with your host, Jeff Lopes.
We are live in the Jeff Knows Inc. podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Lopes. I'm super stoked to have on Sean Gray. Sean is going to help with our 6-minute hump day with a lesson. Sean, take it over, brother. We got 6 minutes. Let's make this count.
All right. So the lesson that we're going to talk about is strategic networking. First of all, thanks, Jeff. This is awesome. Love the concept. So 6 minutes on strategic networking. Jeff asked me what I do. What I do is I leverage my network, leverage my relationships, strategic networking. The basis of that is good sales, but there's a process to how to connect with people, right? If you want to be the best, you have to surround yourself with the best. So, you know, if you want to be the best car mechanic in the world, right? You're not going to spend your time with Joe Schmo down the street who works on his car once a month, right? You're gonna find the guy who's building the Fast and Furious cars, find a way to connect with him, find a way to be in the environment with him, right? That's ideal. You want to be the best. You got to surround yourself with the best, right? So there's a process to it, right? It's allowed me to get into relationships with high level mentors, guys who are worth millions, who have huge lists, who are very protective of their time, right? But the first step is really identifying who that person is. Right? You got to have clarity of it. We talked about this earlier, right? Clarity of vision, strategy, and tactics become self-evident, right? So identifying who is that person. First of all, what is it that I want to do, right? Once you're clear on what it is that you want to do, the lifestyle that you want to live, right? Who out there is doing this at a high level? Who's the best at this? Who's living the lifestyle? Whose spot would I be willing to trade places with? Identify that person. Then, something else that we talked about, a byproduct of asking good questions, is ask yourself the question, all right, where does this person congregate, right? Where are they hanging out? Where are they spending their time? Next question is, who influences them, right? Who has their ear? Who is speaking into, who has influence over them? If somebody gave them a third-party endorsement of you, would they listen? Who's that person? Who's the person that has influence over them? So where do they congregate? Who influences them? And the next question is, who is the influencer of the influencer? Right, because you sometimes, right? Say you want to get to Jeff Bezos or Kanye West, right? The guys who are at the top of their space. Yeah. Right. It's obviously you're not going to be able to find them on LinkedIn and shoot them a message and connect with them right right. So it's okay. Where are they spending their time? Who influences them? And who's the influencer of him? Right? The influencer of the influencers. So once you're clear on that, right, then it's a matter of executing sales techniques and building that relationship. Now, when it comes to building the relationship, everybody wants that relationship, right? So everybody's coming in the front door the same way. Think about, even guys like me and you who are not necessarily at the Jeff Bezos or Kanye West level, I still probably get 30, 40 messages a day on LinkedIn of people trying to connect, right? Like, what makes you think I want to connect with you? I don't know you from Adam, and you're sliding in my inbox like everybody else is. I know you have something to sell me, right? It's a crowded space. So instead of going in that front door, like what we talked about earlier, is go in the back door. How do you go in the back door is the next thing. Well, you got to identify the influencer of the decision maker, right? And who the decision maker is, who that person is. You have to identify them. And then you have to watch them. You have to pay attention, right? You have to observe, because what you're looking for is 3 to 5 things. So you have leverage when you go to them, 3 to 5 things that you can help them with. So you're looking for, what are their needs? What are their goals? What are their wants? What are their desires? If you're following them, generally people talk about what they're working on and what they're trying to accomplish, right? So, and if you're following them closely, you can identify those things. Once you have ways that you can fulfill, and it doesn't even have to be you fulfilling on it, right? It could be you introducing them to somebody that can solve their problem. That's just as powerful. I call those little poker chips that you can play. Yeah. Right. You just carry around in your pocket, and it's like, okay, here I can add value in this way. Right. I can add value in this way. And so once you identify what those needs, wants, goals, and desires are, you have a way you can help them. Because one mistake I did make when it comes to that when I was first starting, and a lot of young people do this. They go to mentors and say, hey, like, how can I help you? I want to learn from you. I want to be around you, right? I'm sure you probably had, how can I help, right? Well, I don't know. And I had one of my mentors, so it was Simon Black. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Simon Black. He runs a publication called Sovereign Man.
Yeah.
Okay, so I went up to him and I said, man, I just want to be around you. How can I help you? And he goes, I don't know how you can help me. I don't know what your skills are. I don't know what your knowledge is. Like, why are you putting that burden on me? He said, I'll tell you what, I'm absolutely open to it, but instead come back to me with how you can help me.
I love that.
And it was a real big distinction for me.
I think that's the biggest lesson you could have taught today. That is so important for young entrepreneurs.
Yeah, cool. I'm glad we got something out of this.
No. Everything you said is my mind's working and it's all making sense and how to network and I love how you're talking about if you want to network with that person, it's you're not getting to that person. You're gonna have to work maybe 2, 3, maybe even 4 layers under, and start your way up that ladder and building those relations, and building those networks. And how you gonna build those networks? Exactly what you said. Like, what can you offer them?
Right.
Don't necessarily ask them. And I've had that conversation. Like, hey, what can I do to help you or whatever? No, it's the other way. You should be already in that room saying, hey, I could do A, B, and C to help add value to you.
Right. Because I've been watching you and I see that you said you wanted to get here and this was the thing holding you back.
I was watching a video clip, an older video clip of Gary Vee. And he says, that guy probably gets bombarded every day by thousands of people trying to network with him. And it's funny that he had a little video clip where he said, he goes, if you want my time, and he's funny you said that. He goes, if you want my time, he goes, what are you going to add value to me? What value will you add into my life? Mm-hmm. Don't come to me because you want something. Don't come to me because you want to get ahead. What value are you going to add to me? If you're not going to add value to me, then our conversation ends right here. So that's very important, right?
Yeah, and that value is not arbitrary. That's why you have to pay attention. That's why good salespeople are listeners and are good observers, right? Because that value is not something that's just like, oh, I happen to have this skill. Well, you could prepare a 5-course meal for your girlfriend, but she might want Chick-fil-A that night. No,
100%.
So there's also got to be that alignment, right? And that's why you have to watch. You have to observe. It's not like, okay, I want to connect with Oprah. All right, I'm gonna just start calling Oprah's office. Right? Like, you're not gonna get to her that way, right? But it's funny because a lot of and I get it, right? There's just young, inexperienced people who want to connect. They have the hustle and the ambition, the drive. That's all good. But with a little bit of strategy to it, you'll be surprised who you can connect with.
Yeah, I love it. That's a great little 6-minute segue here, brother. I appreciate you coming on for the 6-minute Hump Day.
My pleasure, man.
You stuck a lot in there, and there's probably like 2 or 3 good points that people could learn from that. And I'm excited to get this out and let our young entrepreneurs learn, young or even older entrepreneurs learn from this, because I'm sure a lot of people will learn from this. So thank you for coming on. I'm going to put on all our show notes how to get a hold of Sean. A couple of weeks from now, we're going to have him on our full episode. So I'm excited about that as well. And thank you, brother. Anything you want to say? Final things to our audience?
Hey, man. No, I just want to say thank you. Love the conversation. Love what you're doing, man. Encouragement for anybody who's out there, just keep going, follow your heart. Like time is so short, and don't ask better questions. So just to recap, one of the things that I think is so important is ask better questions and spend time exploring those questions that you're asking yourself.
Love it. I love it. That's a perfect way to end it. Thank you so much, brother. Have a wonderful day.
Love it.
Thanks.